what advice would you give those guys in college that want to come to the NBA?
Be mentally prepared to be very tired. I mean, back-to-backs are no joke. I mean,
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
And the visitors making an immediate impression with their entry. A chance now to check out how the All-Star voting is shaping up.
And I tell you, the excitement starting to ratchet up a little bit as the tallies start coming in.
Look at Curry. He stands at number 2 in the Western Conference. The fans giving him the backing he deserves.
No doubt about it. And it's been an outstanding campaign for him, and he's got to be a part of that starting lineup.
And it seems like the anticipation just continues to build each year around this time of the season. Gonna be a fantastic weekend. Now the starting group for the visitors. Patrick Beverley out there with Kawhi Leonard. Then there's Howard. And it's Marc Gasol. And it's Capella in at the 5 spot. And for Minnesota, Hood out there with McDermott. Then there's Stephen Curry. Then there's J.J. Redick. And it's Bjelica in at the 5, roaming the paint. Here's Beverley. He's making his presence felt offensively with his scoring average up there at almost 13 points a game. 2 points, that one goes. Now when it comes to load management strategy, Doris, should coaches do it along the way as opposed to waiting until the last, say, quarter or third of the season?
Well, Kev, I think you can look to the San Antonio Spurs, who I think were the first to really look hard at what we would now describe as load management. And I think the one thing is you're trying to just make sure guys are prepared for the most important point of the season. You've got to win enough to get in the playoffs and be positioned well, but your guys have also have to be healthy at the end of the year.
Now here's Beverley. 9 points last game. And it's Howard finishing it off.
That's about communication between teammates. Dwight Howard, high flying as ever.
Outside Hood. To the paint. Here's McDermott. A shot off that time. Good D by Howard.
Well, conversions have been a problem. 0 for 4.
Feeds to Leonard. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
Well, we know this. Few big men in the history of the game have passed the ball as well as Marc Gasol.
Curry against Beverley. Outside Curry. 6 to shoot. The 3. It's hauled in by Clint Capella. Gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. Gasol passes to Beverley. There's a minute 34 left in the first quarter. Capella with it, now defended by McDermott. And he gets the bucket. Leonard's got his second bucket.
Well, this is the first full year now for Ryan Saunders. Let's remember he was hired by Minnesota full-time after an interim stint last season. And boy, did the players love playing for him.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout. And as we know, Doris, Ryan Saunders, the son of the late, great Minnesota legend, Flip Saunders.
Well, certainly the family has history with the organization, but in no way did Ryan Saunders get the job due to name only. This guy proved he can get wins from this Minnesota roster last year. For Saunders, he's known as a player development guy, and the ability to handle superstars is part and parcel to the job.
Hood can't get it to go. Gone 4 of 4 to start, so a nice offensive rhythm to start here. Gasol passes to Beverley. Back to Gasol. Here's Leonard. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. 6 points for Leonard.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Curry looking around. The dish now to McDermott. Ball's knocked loose. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's going to be on Rodney Hood.
Well, this guy is just a load on the interior. Marc Gasol uses his size, he uses his angles to get where he wants to go.
And so he makes both from the line. Timberwolves trail by 12. And here is Curry. We saw him go on a scoring rampage last game. From deep. Good if it goes. And after just 1 quarter of play, a double-digit differential on the scoreboard. A unique upbringing for Clint Capella. Spent years.
Even as a kid, I wasn't even dreaming about that.
Just an inspiring story, Greg. It gives you perspective on why you should be grateful for everything you have.
Kevin, without a doubt, Capella's upbringing helped shape him, and the hard work he continues to put in is really admirable.
And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And looking at what we've seen so far, guys, from the visiting team, what do you think?
The offense firing on all cylinders. They dominated that first period.
That's exactly the start you want. You take complete command. Now you've got to maintain that focus.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. On the court for Minnesota, Doug McDermott is out there with Nemanja Bjelica. Then it's Rodney Hood. Then there's Stephen Curry. And it's Redick in at the 2-guard spot.
Well, the confidence that Steph Curry has, regardless of where he is on the floor. Yes, sir, I can score inside too, sir.
Pull-up jumper. Poked loose.
I'll tell you, it feels all night like this guy's been forcing shots, rushing shots. He's really struggling on the offensive end.
It's Gasol missing. And so Hood will bring it up for the Timberwolves. Down by 12. This game coming after a loss against the Jazz.
Yeah, I mean, hard time shooting the rock in that one. But they also didn't give themselves the best looks.
I think, Greg, even when you get quality looks, there was an inability to stay consistent. It is hard to win on a cold shooting night in today's NBA. The scoring is just too good.
Second quarter, we're a little over a minute and a half in. Here's Curry, and Capella sends it back, and they get it back. McDermott passes to Curry.
Now Dwight Howard at his best, sending it back.
Here's Leonard. Got it for his 4th field goal of the game on just 5 shots. A lot of players have taken their game to another level. A lot of improvement they've done individually. Any surprises that have caught your eye, Doris, over the years?
Yeah, I would say probably maybe the greatest single individual leap I've ever seen is by the reigning most improved player, and that's Pascal Siakam. Couldn't get in the rotation consistently in the postseason, and then became such an integral part of an NBA championship team. Kemba Walker, who is an all-star caliber player, all-NBA level guy, continues to stay in the lab and keep improving. So a ton of guys, Domantas Sabonis, another young big who's been incredible. Just great to see guys progress.
He hits both from the stripe.
As he enters his mid-30s, Marc Gasol showing no signs of slowing down. If anything, I think he's a better all-around basketball player.
Now here's McDermott. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Pass to Redick. Just his first attempt. He gets it in there.
And the timing and rhythm with which Redick plays, well, he is feeling it right now.
And through his first 8 seasons in the NBA, Marc Gasol made a total of 12 three-pointers. Nowadays, Greg, he'll make more than that in a month.
and you ask around, he's always been capable. A great shooting touch. It's just a different job description for big men nowadays.
To the inside. And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. Curry against Beverly. Inside, Leonard. It falls for the 6th time in 7 tries this contest. That's 86%.
This is a small forward who, because he's 230 pounds, can hold his own down in the low post. That is nicely done.
And Capella sends it back.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Well, Kawhi Leonard has zero fear. In fact, contact, it doesn't deter him at all.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. The free throw good from Kawhi Leonard. Curry with it. Can they get it? That shot no good.
Didn't hesitate for a second.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Kawhi Leonard is having one of those nights. He ended up with 15 points. And that should...
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
And part of that has to do with his mindset. He has been looking to push the action at every opportunity, and he has been in attack mode all night.
They've got Clint Capella. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Patrick Beverley. Then there's Howard. And it's Gasol at the 3. And it's good for 2.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Down low. And Curry the bucket on the assist from Reddick. 9 points for Steph Curry.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Well, there is nothing better than catching a rhythm as early as possible. And boy, that's a terrific start right there.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
You think about the Timberwolves, the one thing that seems elusive for this organization has been consistency. They have had the talent. They've had good coaching. The problem is they haven't yet put those two areas together.
A three-pointer off the mark.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
And the Wolves, Doris, one of only 11 franchises to have never won a championship. In fact, they've made the Western Conference Finals only once.
I think one of their challenges, at least in this latest run, has been they're competing with a very young core. And certainly you have added veterans to the group. The problem is the core guys have to understand how to step up when it's winning time. What we understand is playoff performance is most important.
Well, the pick didn't exactly neutralize the defender, but good concentration on the finish to still get the basket.
Capella finds Gasol. Nails the baby hook. Gasol's got 6 points.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
Outside Hood. 1:57 left in the third quarter of the game. Just 3 to shoot. It's Curry outside. Kawhi Leonard with the rebound.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Right wing. And the pass to Howard. And the basket is good. Howard's got 5 points in the quarter.
This is a comfort zone for Dwight Howard. The closer he is to the hoop, the more effective he becomes. You know, even as Dwight Howard heads for his mid-30s, I believe he can still impact the game. This guy is a physical specimen. He can be a tremendous force as a shot blocker and a rebounder.
And Bielitsa kicks to Curry. The tray. Dwight Howard grabs the board. Howard's got 6 rebounds here tonight.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
And it's Leonard missing. Timberwolves trail by 21. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Basket counts. And that's now 11 points for Steph Curry.
Boy, for a guy with one of the lightest frames in the NBA, Steph Curry can still finish through contact.
Beverly looking around. Pass to Howard. Lays it up and banks it in. 13 points in the game.
Yeah, that was the third straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
Curry against Beverly. Outside Curry. From deep three-point range, the long distance three is buried. Curry's got 14 points for the game.
Well, I'll tell you, there are few shooters who can keep their composure against that kind.
And so it's the visiting team with an 18-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. Their defense has been terrific in this game. And don't go away. We'll be right back. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Well, that's what a great pass will do, right? You love the unselfish play.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. We've got Steph Curry, Rodney Hood out there with Doug McDermott. Then it's Nemanja Bjelica, and it's Redick in a shooting guard. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Hood can't get it to go. Leonard against Redick. Howard. And it's Howard finishing it off.
This is a lethal combination of size and skill. Dwight Howard doing work.
Beverly against Curry. Passes it to Hood. Marcus Gasol picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Doris, you've accomplished so much in your award-winning career. What was your first experience in broadcasting?
Kevin, my first experience was I left coaching and they put Providence College women's basketball on radio. That was the first ever game I got to call. It was so cool. Tell me yours. What was the very first? Did you study this? How did you get into broadcasting?
I did. Our high school had a radio station, and the first basketball broadcast was underneath the bleachers, looking through popcorn boxes and legs of the people that were standing in the bleachers so that I could see the court from the basement.
Amazing.
Because that's where the telephone cables were to plug in our equipment. And
wow.
I was 16 years old.
Incredible.
Remember it very well.
Incredible.
Very well. Here's Beverly. That shot off the mark. Great D that time from Hood. Doris, we've both been very public in our admiration for LeBron, the face of the league, for so many years. When he retires, and we're approaching that date, who do you think might step up and take his place as the face of the NBA?
Well, probably the most likely candidate is the new and reigning MVP, and that's Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is an absolute physical force. He's put on 50 pounds. He's getting more and more skilled. When he adds that three-point shot as a consistent weapon and gets to an in-between game, he will be impossible to guard. Kawhi Leonard, you know, he is now sort of taking over as a multi-time winner of the Finals MVP, and certainly a player guys want to play with. So just a couple of possibilities there, Kev.
Curry with the bounce pass. Redick passes to Bjelica, and the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Bjelica's got his first points of the night.
Well, defensively, to me, you've got to do a better job communicating once the screen comes.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Kawhi Leonard.
He's put on a shooting exhibition for us here tonight. He's missed a couple along the way, but it sure seems like everything's been falling for him. The only way to keep him from converting is to keep the ball out of his hands.
And this is exactly what a star player is supposed to do. Coming off a loss, he made sure they weren't going to make it 2 in a row. Timberwolves trailed by 19. White down low. Reddish grabs the rebound. Gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Clarkson passes to Jones. For three, Williams. Offensive rebound. And Kid Gilchrist kicks to Clarkson. And not going to go. He misses the first attempt on the night. Outside, White. He couldn't stay in bounds, and that's going to be a turnover. .46 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Now Williams. Pass to Clarkson. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Good work defensively by Gasol.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
That boy, to have someone back there who can erase your mistakes, what a big-time asset defensively.
To the middle. Makes it off the glass.
And the stick-with-it attitude of Gasol, just overwhelming the defense with his length.
Williams looking around. And so it's a victory for the road team in this one. Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight.